Oh, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. In today's video, we will be continuing the Rise Up series with James Flex Lewis. Now, Flex Lewis announced on a recent podcast over on his channel that he will be retiring from the sport of bodybuilding. And mainly, he was saying that it's really hard for him to put the food down, that he needs to go to the open class. But I'm not going to really discuss that. You guys should go over to his channel and watch that video. In this video, we will be discussing his early life as well as most of his competition history. So James Flex Lewis is a 7-time Olympia champion in the 212 division, and he was born in Llanelli, Wales, which is in Australia. Flex Lewis got interested in bodybuilding at 12 after discovering Tom Platz. He actually seen his legs, and that's what made him want to compete, which I could definitely understand. And he was also a big fan of Arnold, as a lot of people were growing up. So he actually stole weights from his shed. His parents didn't want him lifting weights, so he kind of snuck and lifted weights, and his parents eventually stole them back. But I'm pretty sure they had no idea he would end up being as good as he is now, guys. So he started training at a gym at 15 to actually get a little bit bigger to play rugby, and he met Steve Naylor, and he actually told him that he had great potential. So Flex would then train with Steve for a year, and he won the Junior Mr. Wales. After winning that competition, he met Neil Yoda Hill, who he worked with for the rest of his career. At age 22, Flex would move to the United States, and he started to train at Gold's Gym just a little bit. And at some point in there, he met Milos the Mind Sarchev. So Milos invited him to train at Coliseum Gym, where he trained with a lot of athletes. In this article that I found, I couldn't find any names of the people that he trained with specifically, but pretty sure it was a lot of legends. So Peter McGaugh, the famous journalist, he introduced Flex to Joe Weider, and Flex signed to Weider in 2006. So Flex Lewis would actually turn pro in 2007 at the British Nationals, and as I'm sure many of you guys know, he owns the Dragon's Lair Gym in Las Vegas, which is considered to be the mecca of bodybuilding right now, and we'll talk about that a little later in the video. But the version that you guys are looking at now is actually from the 2011 Mr. Olympia, and Flex actually placed second to Kevin English at this show. I honestly like this version of Flex a lot. You know, it's a little bit smaller, but I think he has a lot more muscle separation that he had later on in his career. But granted, he did have to put on more size just for the arms to be thicker and the back to be thicker, and to develop the physique that we'll see later in this video in 2018 after he won 7 Olympia titles in the 212 division. Now, something very interesting about Flex Lewis, from 2012 to 2018, he competed in 15 shows, and he won them all, guys. Of course, with 7 of them being Olympias, but that's incredible. And he was also the first 212 athlete to win the Arnold Classic in 2014. So the version on the left that you guys are looking at is from the 2012 British Grand Prix. The middle is 2013 Prague, and the right is the 2014 Mr. O. I usually only look at Mr. Olympia winning versions in these videos, or Mr. Olympia versions, but these are actually pretty good, guys. The 2013 Prague Pro version, and Flex would actually win 3 Prague Pro titles, so I guess it's a show that he really liked. But as you guys can see in the middle, Flex would still end up developing his back even more than this, adding even more thickness to the back and the arms. I really like this 2012 British Grand Prix, guys. Honestly, 2011, 2012 Flex Lewis may be my personal favorite versions throughout this video. But as you guys know, I'm a massive class guy, so. And this is actually from the 2015 Mr. Olympia, another win from Flex Lewis. And the reason I'm really not going to dive too deep into these versions, Flex is pretty consistent, man. As you guys know, he was in the 212 division, so he had a weight cap to make. So over the years building up, you can see slight improvements, mostly in the back and the arms, as I stated, even in the quads. Flex also has incredible calves, guys, world-class calves. But Flex honestly brought more or less the same package every year, pretty consistent. He was either a little fuller or a little more conditioned. And this is from the 2016 Mr. O, and I believe this may be the most conditioned version of Flex Lewis. Definitely me compiling pictures to make this video was the most conditioned version. This is why I just wanted to share these 2 back shots. Incredible, guys. Now, of course, Flex could be a little wider, but that's just genetic. Look at the glutes, look at the ham, look at the back, guys, just completely inside out. But for some reason, Flex never seems to have that same level of conditioning from the front. And I honestly believe that if Flex was a little smaller, he would have had more separation of his legs, but he wouldn't have had that same wow factor. Now, this is a comparison from 2016 to 2017, and you guys can just see what I mean. Flex was probably still 211, 212, but 2016, he probably came in a lot more conditioned. In 2017, he came in a lot more full. If you're looking at this, guys, it looks like he's put on like 5 to 10 pounds of muscle at least. And the last version of Flex Lewis that we would see on a bodybuilding stage was at the 2018 Mr. O, where he would win his 7th Olympia title in the 212 division. And of course, Flex Lewis is the greatest 212 bodybuilder of all time. Since he's left, the title hasn't stayed anywhere yet. You guys know we had Kamal El-Gardner winning, then Sean Clarita, then Derek Lunsford. So depends on how long Derek Lunsford stays in the division. He could hold the title for a while. Sean Clarita could also be a guy to hold the title for a while. But Flex Lewis is definitely one of the best bodybuilders our sport has ever seen. 212 or not, guys, he is incredible. And Flex actually hopped in an open show at some point and placed 3rd. But I wanted to share this picture, guys. This is a picture when Shawn Rhoden and Flex Lewis won Olympia titles the same year. Just incredible, man. And rest in peace to Shawn Rhoden. Incredible athlete. Missed more and more by the day. But I want to share a couple of photos from just the people that come into the Dragon's Lair gym in Las Vegas. And this is, of course, Flex Lewis with Rafa Brandao, who just came off the Arnold South America win. And this is Ilya Golub and So Chung Lee. I can't go through everyone that goes to this gym, guys, because there's a lot of people. But I'm pretty sure you guys know this is like the mecca of bodybuilding. A lot of people come through here to train. And this is Flex Lewis with Jeremy Potvin, who was a top 4 men's physique Olympian. He's actually supposed to be going up to classic physique. And here's Flex Lewis with Brian Shaw, strongman. So all type of people come through here, man. Flex is a great ambassador for the sport. Brandon Hendrickson and his girlfriend, Barbara Caesar. She's actually an upcoming wellness athlete, guys. Pretty good. She will be at the Olympia this year. Regan Grimes and Logan Franklin, the mind Milo Sarchel. Pretty sure the work that Flex Lewis has done off the stage is either equivalent or maybe even greater to what he has been able to accomplish on a bodybuilding stage. And Flex Lewis is so much more than a bodybuilder, man. Great ambassador for the sport. Seth Feroce also comes to mind as well, a former 212 competitor. But Flex had a great career, man, and as you guys know, a lot of you guys know, I only got into the sport about 2 years ago, so I never was able to see Flex compete. I have to go back and look at photos, but incredible, guys. As I said, he competed for 6 years in 15 shows, and he won every single one of them, guys. I'm pretty sure Phil Heath probably could have did the same thing if he did more shows, but as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video, man. Like, sub to the channel. It's free. Flex Lewis has retired. I'm out.